What up, gamers? Fence here, and today I want to talk about my favorite first person shooter, and that is Titanfall. Yep, just straight off the bat, I don't want to leave you guys in suspense throughout this whole video because, yeah, I am starting a new series here where I talk about my favorite games in each genre, starting with first person shooters, given the relevance of today, which is Titanfall Day, a community made annual event where on May 1st of every year, it seems, yeah, it began like last year. Yeah, Titanfall fans would come together and just play some Titanfall. Most likely Titanfall 2 because I feel like that's more stable than Titanfall 1. But yeah, if you don't know, both Titanfall games, like their servers really suck, and yeah, Respawn isn't really doing anything about it, even though they are the very core of their DNA. But whether or not the servers work, in which I at least hope it does work for today at least for the console side of things, because the PC version does have a way to bypass the bad servers through the Northstar client. But yeah, regardless though, for me at least, I won't be participating in this event, unfortunately, and that is because I just want to move on, man. Hey guys, so Fence here from the future here, and I think I want to retract that statement because after some thoughts, I thought about just doing one more playthrough of the Titanfall 2 campaign here on my channel as a Let's Play. And so after that, I do plan to just move on and uninstall this game off my PC because it does take up a lot of space. But yeah, back to the normal video here. So yeah, like whenever I try to play other first-person shooter games, I'm just reminded of Titanfall, man, and just how much I miss it. Because it's such a great and unique game. Like, what it does unique, it does it so good that I feel like no other games of the recent years, and even today, can accomplish what Titanfall tries to do. And yeah, because of that, it has ruined my experience whenever I try to play other first-person shooter games. And because of that, I just want to move on, man, because I want to enjoy other first-person shooter games. And so hopefully this video here will give me some kind of closure, at least until like maybe they announce another Titanfall game, which yeah, I mean Titanfall 3 was listed in the Nvidia leaks, and some games in that leak have came to light, and so yeah, maybe Titanfall 3 is a thing, but who knows. But for now, I just want to move on, man. And yeah, what better way to move on than to talk more about Titanfall? Yeah, I know it seems very counterproductive, but yeah, I mean, I just really do hope it's some kind of closure by me talking about it. And yeah, I guess let's get right to it, man. Let's talk about why Titanfall is my favorite first person shooter of all time. And I guess I should specify like which Titanfall game is my favorite. There is Titanfall 1 and 2, and there's also Titanfall Assault, which is a mobile game that plays like Clash Royale, but that's a different genre, so I'm not counting that. But yeah, this is kind of hard for me to choose because I do view Titanfall 1 and 2 as equal. Like I like both games very much equally, but if I really had to choose one, I mean, I've said it already, man. When I say Titanfall, it is Titanfall, which is Titanfall 1. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I mean, I guess now let me explain why that is. So the reasons why Titanfall 1 is my favorite first-person shooter is because 1, it plays like Call of Duty, which I was really into back then, and 2, it adds new features and elements to the gameplay, the controls, and the mechanics that, yeah, like I said before, I feel like no other game really accomplished that good as much as Titanfall. And so, yeah, when they put all these new and unique things together, it just really stands out as a very unique game that it does very well at. To elaborate more on the reasons, if you didn't know, Respawn's first game was Titanfall 1, but before that, most of their developers were actually from Infinity Ward, The last game they worked on was Modern Warfare 2, and they decided to make Respawn Entertainment after some disputes between them and Activision. And so yeah, they decided to go their own way, make Titanfall 1, and yeah, as you can expect, it does play like Call of Duty. And because back then I was very much into Call of Duty, I knew that I would like playing this game a lot. And to add on to the foundation of the Call of Duty gameplay, they've also added some new features and mechanics like the pilot's movement with the wall running, and then you also got the Titans, and then you also have these NPCs that roam around the maps depending on the game mode, like with the grunts and the specters. You know, all this combined in just how they interact with each other, it just plays like a very unique first person shooter multiplayer game. And like I said, many times now, I feel like other games, they haven't really replicate this kind of success, or at least this kind of like smoothness, to like what Titanfall has accomplished. And I guess this next point is more of a personal taste, but I really love the aesthetics of Titanfall, like with the visuals, the sound, and especially the look of the pilots, man. The pilots and the Titans, they look so much of like a hybrid between like modern military and sci-fi, futuristic. You know, it doesn't look like exactly like modern warfare, like in that setting, but it also doesn't look so futuristic like Halo or Mass Effect. No, there is a mixture of them here, and I think I just really like that look a lot, man. I like this hybrid, and I wish more games would do more of it. In which, yeah, I guess some try to mix those. I mean, the latest example I can think of would be Battlefield 2042, but we kind of know how that game kind of turned out. But even with the realistic visuals, the serious tone, and the dramatic theme of Titanfall, even with that, it can feel like anime sometimes. Yeah, I know there's the obvious comparison with Attack on Titan, where you have these giant things called Titans, and you have these pilots that can just zip around building to building, can go really fast, and can climb onto the Titans and destroy them from around their head area. But yeah, you definitely have that comparison there. But even with the pilots and the Titans alone, like individually, you know, with the pilots, man, you can move around really fast, like you're some kind of ninja from Naruto. And then with the Titans, man, like it kind of feels like you control a mecha, like in Gundam or something. I don't know. Yeah, it just feels it can feel really anime like that. And I really like that, man. It's just a very indirect way to reference anime, I guess. And I guess the last thing I'll talk about is why do I prefer Titanfall 1 over 2? And that is because I prefer the features of Titanfall 1 over 2. So when you play from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2, or I guess the other way around as well, you can definitely notice some differences with the features and mechanics. I mean, for sure, in Titanfall 2, it has the sliding mechanic where when you run and crouch, you can slide. That was not featured in Titanfall 1, and I would say that's like the only thing I prefer Titanfall 2 over than Titanfall 1. But I do prefer more things in Titanfall 1 over Titanfall 2, like with the NPCs. In Titanfall 1, you got the grunts, the specters, and these huge turrets. Whereas in the second game, they took out the turrets, and in its place, you got the stalkers and the reapers. And I just prefer the NPCs in the first game because I do like having these huge turrets around. You know, if you hack them, that can definitely like distract other enemy titans. And two, I really like the special animations that the NPCs play. Like whenever you see a group of grunts or specters or both in a room, like if you see that on your mini map, if you walk into that room, it plays this special animation, like it's some kind of like scripted cutscene from a campaign. But yeah, I just think that's really cool, and it just makes the these matches, like the maps that we are in, it just makes it feel more immersive, more alive, and more lively. I just like that a lot, and yeah, I do prefer the NPCs in the first game over the second. I also prefer the maps in Titanfall 1, where I feel like the way the maps are laid out in that game, the walls feel just way closer than, the second game, man. Like the second game just feels so open with the walls, and as a pilot, traversing on walls can really help you get around a map a lot faster. And yeah, there was just less opportunities for that in Titanfall 2, I feel. And there are some maps coming from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2. And so, yeah, I mean, yeah, that definitely helps out, but that just means that the Titanfall 1 maps are like way better than the second one. And finally, I just like the way the Titans were handled in the first game than the second. And I guess the first thing is the rodeo system. In the first game, when you climb onto a Titan, you can just shoot their robot brains out, which is really awesome. But in the second game, you can either just take their battery, or if there is no battery, you can just put a grenade in that battery slot and just automatically just jump out, which, I feel like in the second game that does sound more lame than the first, because yeah, it definitely sounds more metal just shooting out the robot brains in the first game. And then there's the Titan customization, where in the first game you can change the weapon of your Titan, like an assault rifle or a sniper rifle or a grenade launcher. And you can also change the chassis of your Titan, going from a light, medium, or heavy mech, and they're called the Strider, Atlas, and Ogre mech respectively. And you can also just change around their abilities for the most part. But in Titanfall 2, the Titans are made out to be more like a hero from a hero shooter, like in Overwatch or Paladins, where they have their own set weapons, chassis, and abilities. Like you got the Ronin Titan, who will only use the shotgun and sword, and they would be a light mech, and they will always have this phasing and electric abilities. And then you have another Titan called the Legion, where it is a heavy mech, and it will always use a minigun. And there's only a few things that you can do to change how they play with like the effectiveness of their abilities and such. But yeah, because of this hero shooter type thing that they made, they're able to make a total of 7 Titans, where in the previous game, if you were to count the chassis as a Titan, it's only 3. But I do prefer the Titans in the first game. I think both Titans in both games are really fun and I would say very equal, but I do prefer the first one because I like to just change out the weapons and the Titan chassis to make my Titan feel more like how I want to play my Titan. And in Titanfall 2, even though the Titans over there are very much fun, I just want to really customize my Titan, man. I just want to make it use the weapons I want to use and the chassis that I want to use. So with all of that said, just know that those are my personal opinions on like why I prefer Titanfall 1 over 2. I can definitely see why people will, yeah, most likely I feel like prefer the second one over the first. But even though I do prefer the first game over the second, I still view them as very much equal, man. Like they're very much in the same level, at least in my opinion. Because when I played from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2, it's like they traded in and out some things to make it better or worse. And yeah, because of that, I just see them as equal. But Titanfall 1 though, I would say I do prefer if I had to choose one. So all in all, that is why Titanfall 1 is my favorite first-person shooter. It is a really great and unique game compared to other first-person shooters out there, even from the recent years to today. And what it does unique, it does it very well, and it has a very appealing aesthetic to it as well. So yeah, I know not a lot of other people share my opinion, and so I would like to know, what is your favorite first-person shooter to play? Is it a Call of Duty game, a Battlefield game, or a Halo game, or maybe some other game I haven't really heard about? So let me know down in the comments below. And once again, today is Titanfall Day, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm recording this way in the past, like 1 week early, and so if for some reason it's not going good, I mean, I just hope you make the best out of it. I don't know. But yeah, that's all I want to say. And yeah, I'll definitely be making more videos like this where I talk about my favorite game in each genre. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and that's it for now. That's game.